Well, that's crazy. It's come to my attention that my mom's passed away. Like, why didn't I know this? Let me let me explain something to you. Put this on here and do this like this. Now, my mother passed away 5 days ago. I just found out. So you're thinking, how could you just find out that your mother passed away 5 days ago? And you've all saw the video with my mother with the tubes and all the stuff connected up to her. The woman you saw with all the tubes and stuff connected to her was my biological mother. The woman that passed away 5 days ago was the woman that took care of my father at his darkest moments. The woman that was with him when he was not with him. This is why my white mom, who gave me my white grandma and white grandpa. Now, my stepbrothers have had this their whole lives. They've had a white father and they've had a white mother and a black father their whole lives. And when my mom took me in, because that's what you do. When some man says, my son is coming over to stay, you're taking him in. Jane remind me of Janis Joplin. Not because she was drunk, because she looked like Janis Joplin. Kind of weird that my uncle who passed away looked like Barry White. And my mom was Janis Joplin. I've been on a bender like nobody knows. My emotions on a roller coaster like no other. And people wonder, what is the whole story? So I'm going to tell it right now. I was going to put some of my music in the background and blah, blah, my new music is playing. But that shit ain't cool. I was a young man. I had dealt with loss and pain before I even got to this place. So you think back decades, eons, feels like a million years. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. So, can't tell you how old I am. Not right now. It's really just sitting there. And those who know me know I'm not afraid of showing emotions because a man without emotions is destined to die. No feelings and no one to feel for them. So, I'm a young man. I'm going through blah, blah, blah. Shit happens and forced to pick up everything and move to a new town. The only people I know is people I just fucking met. A man who says he's my father and his family. When somebody says, "You're my son," to be honest with you, I really didn't know who the fuck these people was. But you roll the dice in life. Like I said in the video before this one, your parents have good intentions for you. And nobody wants you to fail in life. I can say some good things about my stepmom and some bad things. But like I said, I have been blessed. People just don't know. So my grandmother was a strong woman. This woman was stronger than any man I have seen to this fucking day. She was working out in the yard one time. And she had this garden going. And she's putting stakes out in the garden. And somehow her hand went down. I don't know what happened. There's a piece of wood going out of her hand. Straight through the middle of her hand, all the way out to the other side. I said, man, God, look, please. She pulled it out. Not a flinch. I've never in my life ever seen a man do anything like that. Except me. But now, it wasn't a big ass piece of wood going through my hand, all the way through my hand. And Big Kim. She was small. Look, people, if you don't understand, I was raised by women. One strong woman after another strong woman. It's ridiculous to be so blessed. So, Big Kim was strong. I'm not gonna get into her business, but she was strong. She was a skinny little thing, but she was strong. God. I was telling my little brother a few minutes ago. The first real woman that I've ever been around was Ida Mae Marshall. Blah, 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 my grandmother. I saw her pick up a man and throw him over a table. I saw her skin animals for people in the community to fucking eat. Like I said, Big Kim. You got my from so many years. Blah 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 blah. Big Kim. Big Kim. The whole teenage thing. You know. When you learn how to be a man and all that shit. And I know what you're thinking, people out there. You mentioned your grandmother. You've mentioned your auntie. The whole boys in the hood thing. That whole boys in the hood period of life. For people who watch the movie and all that bullshit. Bullshit, I meant. That was the Big Kim years. In between all these years and all these different episodes of my life, TRM. TRM has been in my life and out of my life, and in my life and out of my life, and was the focus of the last video. That was my birth mother, Toni Renee Mitchell, who was in a perpetual coma forever. So I got my grandma and my auntie, and my mother is in a coma forever. Mother who has passed away, you say? This is the woman who was there in those years where, who the fuck are you going to be years? What are you going to have in life? Who are you going to be in life years? And when, well, when all I had was a search to find out who I am. My father picked me up. He brought me to his house. Now, when you hear stories about what you have and what you don't have, what do you do with those stories? I was raised believing and knowing I had twin brothers. I got two little brothers younger than me that are twins. My father came and showed me a different life. Come stay with me, he said. I did. I had two older stepbrothers, R and L. That's all I'm going to say. Ross and Lie. That's all I'm going to say. But from what I was raised to believe, is those twin boys were my brothers. Whoa, the story's changing. So when my father finally met me, or finally rescued me, or finally found me, I was on the verge of being a psychotic mass killer. Pissed off at the world because nobody wanted to give me a fucking job. So, instead of becoming a psychotic killer, he gave me an ultimatum and said to my father, okay. And here's where the story gets even more weirder. I say, if I fill out 3 applications and somebody offers me a job, I will come stay in Sonoma County. Look, folks, I have been looking for a job for months. And I can tell you another story later, and I will add it later. I go to my father and give him this ultimatum. You know what? I'll stay in your Santa Rosa if somebody gives me a job. I've been looking for a job for a long time where I was at. So we go to McDonald's. I sit down at the McDonald's counter and we're chillaxing. We're doing our thing. He said, you work at McDonald's a few months ago. Why don't you fill out an application? Okay, Pop, but they won't hire me. I already know I'm not going to get hired because I've been looking for a job for months. Truth of the matter is, I have a gastrointestinal infection in my stomach and I can't work for 6 months. I just get this information from the McDonald's I was working at. So I know I can't go to work for 6 months. Won't be able to get a job. Won't have to migrate to Sonoma County, where I drink wine now on a regular. Giggity, giggity. Oh, that's a good one. Let's fast forward a little bit. We're at lunch. I'm getting ready to leave. He says, did you turn in the application? I'm like, yeah, I turned in the application. Before I got up from the table, I was offered a job. This is not part of my plan. not cool, not expected. You see, black people look for excuses not to do shit. And the excuse to go to work, even if it was at a McDonald's, when I had been out of work so long, just get some, whatever. I'm buzzing, cousin. So now, I've been offered a job in a strange town where there's primarily white people. So, what do I do? My father has taken me out of the ghetto, offered me a place to live. What do I do? But he's living with his wife. Obviously, I can play this to my not wanting to have a better life agenda that's been built into my psyche. So I was taught to be a loser. I've been set up to win. But at how much? And at what rate? I'm not going to win much. It's a McDonald's job. A job is a job. We have people and kids in this world who will work for a hand of shit. And you know what? Thank you for the handful of shit, is what we'd say after we got it. This society is no fool. It deserves better. So, I moved to Sonoma County thinking that, okay, I've been offered 14, no, 9, wait, a job. I'd worked at McDonald's in Richmond, California on McDonald's Avenue. I had eaten a large amount of McDonald's products. I ate a quarter pounder with cheese every lunch, and over X amount of time, plus whatever else I was eating, I had built up a, I guess you would call a gastro obstruction because of the oil from all the fried foods I was eating. That's what created the gastrointestinal infection. Just getting back to time. I am about to be kicked out of work for 6 months. And I was just told by the doctors that after you turn this paperwork in, you cannot work for 6 months because of the state of your intestines. You can look at it now and see something different, but what I saw then was a death sentence to a man in his early 20s. Okay. Fuck it, I was not, okay, fuck it. Moral illustration, me and my father are sitting there in Cuttingtown McDonald's, Santa Rosa, California. Look it up. A person from the hood who's promised an opportunity. They had a new franchise opening up called Popeye's Chicken. The only time I'd ever seen a Popeye chicken was when I was on vacation in Memphis, Tennessee. So the young guy says to me before I even went to Sonoma County, before I even filled out the application, he says, "You worked at McDonald's for how long?" I told him, he said, "Man, hey, I can hook up with a job. Just fill out the application and come here Saturday." I rushed in there, filled out the application, and went there Saturday. If anybody knows about the first Popeyes in Richmond, show up at 10 in the morning. I had always been told, you show up at 10, your appointment's at 10, and, you go in there. I show up at 10 o'clock, and there's like 9,000 people. 9,000 people. During the height of the crack for one of 63 jobs at a fucking Popeye's chicken. Wow. Fast forward. I'm in Sonoma County. We'll be back. Let's rewind it back. Before I did all that, I worked at McDonald's on McDonald Avenue in Richmond. And that was one of the most encouraging family experiences I have ever had. The manager's name was Liz. Period. Boom. That's good. Fast forward. No longer working at McDonald's because of gastrointestinal infection. Can't find work anywhere. Go all the way to Lake County, and my father, during a lunch at a McDonald's, says, just fill out an application. I just filled out the application, and we're leaving. We're leaving the McDonald's. I've been in the hood my entire life. We're leaving the McDonald's from the suburbs. The manager says, don't you want your uniform? Don't you want your uniform? Excuse my language. Did you fucking hire me? I was hired. Now, I have to get a way out of it. I have to find a way out of getting out of a way out of a bad situation. This job can help me out with everything, but I got to get out of this. This is not where I want to live at. This shit is not fucking happening right now. It was happening. My whole fucking life was fucking instantly changing. What can I do? Thinking, wow, what's going to happen? These people, they're not my people. I love my stepbrothers. But How did this happen? You know, think about it. They gave me a job. I got a job. How the hell does this work? How did I get this job? Think about it. How did I get this job? So I got this job. And now I have to leave everything I know. I know the title of this video is My Mother Died 5 days ago. But how did I get this job? So now I got the job. I have to pack all my shit up and move to Sonoma County. I have 4 stepbrothers living in the same house. I was led to believe that 2 of these stepbrothers were my real brothers. Not finding out that the 2 who I thought were my real brothers were my stepbrothers. Only being fronted by one of the 2. It was bad. Mentally, what do? I packed everything up I had in my life. And I bought all my stuff to be around these strange people. With one thought, at least the twins are my brothers. Nope. I was the only one. I had watched those people attack my father, try to fight my father. It got to the point to where it's, damn. He's not only my father, but I'm his backup. So out of all this crazy shit, out of all the good and bad, there's my stepmom. Now my stepmom was like Janis Joplin. She drank a little bit. She partied some. She had her own aura, like we all do. I'm sort of disappointed because I believe this video is disingenuous. My third mom is dead. I did not get proper notification. And I'm on one. And I think about it. And you say to yourself, what secrets were there? I remember one time my father was in prison. One of those major prisons because he wouldn't go to a small one. And Mom said, we're going to a family reunion. I didn't think we was going to her family reunion, but we did. These people were looking at me strange, like, never seen this black bastard nowhere before. This is Dee's. The night me and Mom were leaving, and she says, go grab that bottle of champagne I'm drinking on and bring it back to me. And I took the bottle of champagne and I took it back to her. Then one of the other family members says, hey, he took a bottle of alcohol. She says, he's from Richmond. He doesn't know any better. And I was mad at her about that. That was about one of the worst things that Mom ever did to me. Because anything else I could forgive. That was the worst one. But Jane, being my mother, was not one of the worst parts of my life. Jane, being my mother, was one of the best parts of my life. Because out of all of what you've heard over the last 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 27 minutes, 37 minutes, my mother, my blood mother, my relative, my blood mom was not involved in those stories. Because those periods of time in my life were separate. I knew who my blood mom was. I was a young man in search of his father when I met Jane. Jane became the mother I never had when I needed one. I have been lucky to be a man born of 4 mothers. Maybe 5, I don't know. What I learned from Jane, I put in my mother index. My sister once told me never call that bitch your mama. She was wrong. Because Jane is more my mother than a lot of women could have ever been mothers to children they neglected or did have. She never told me that I was her stepson. She acted as if I came out of her. She made statements about my little brother that I wish I had heard that people had said that my mother had made statements about me. She might not have gave birth to me. She gave feeling to me. For those who really do know who I am, I'm an emotional person. Those who can't touch my emotions can't touch my soul. And I'm lucky to have had 4 mothers. Ida Mae Marshall, Kimberly Boykin, Jane Ray Hayden, Tony Renee Mitchell. I've had what people wow. Well, apparently the video went out while I was talking. They want people to relive pain. Can't do that for these people. Can't do that for eBay or YouTube or any of that shit. I spill my guts about my life. And I'm still blessed to have had 4 mothers. I'm not going to say their names again because one is still holding on. I once said in the song, the life we live is day to day. So fuck the motherfucker say crime don't pay. Cause that son of a bitch ain't living day to day. He ain't got no goddamn crime to pay. Mom, I hope you're with dad right now. But you know I never called him dad. So Pops, I hope you're taking care of moms right now. Those people who do not understand. Understand this. In life, you're given a certain set of cards. And then in life, you confront it with a game. Do you understand what I just said? I'll give you 5 cards, and you carry them your whole life. You're confronted with a game. In other words, you don't know what game you're playing, but you've already been dealt the cards. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for letting me be your son. Thank you for giving me your mother and letting your mother be my grandmother. Thank you for being proud of me because I was your son. Even though I know you never gave birth to me, you're still my mother. Even though those would say, that's not your mama. You were my mama. Those who don't think I feel for you, well, you know. A 50-year-old black man crying about my white mother. The woman who took care of my father when he was down and picked him up when he was out. Didn't matter what color she was, who she was, what she did in life. She was still my mother. When I needed one, when I had to have one, she was still my mother. Life is tough on people. can't survive sometimes. You need that hold on yesterday. Yesterday is not always promised, people. You love those who love you, and you believe in them. So, Mom, sorry we never got over there to you. Some people only wish that they're never forgotten in the end. And when it comes to me, you will never be forgotten. Hopefully, Pops didn't show up in a fucked up ass Cadillac 3 days ago when you showed up on the other side. But you know how he is. He might have been saving the money for something else. I love you, Jane. I love you, Mom. And I will see you on the other side.